Good morning and welcome to P&B Sports Show. I'm your host, Arakotom. And today, African football takes center stage. The AFCON semi-finals have been played, narratives have been shifted, giants have fallen, and new heroes have emerged. From Egypt versus Senegal, a battle of continental royalty, to our own Nigeria versus Morocco, a clash between power, structure, and belief. These were not just football matches, they were statements. And today we break down what truly happened, not just the scorelines, the tactics, the decisions, the turning points, and what these games tell us about the future of African football. Joining me today are two men who see the game beyond 90 minutes, our in-house analyst, Abel Sunday, and joining us from Lagos, football intellectual and analyst, Wisdom, also known as the Principal Thing. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. But it seems like Wisdom won't be joining us now, but will be joining us later in the show. It seems it was a terrible night, Mr. Abel, for the Super Eagles and for Nigerians. What's your first take on Nigeria versus Morocco, Abel? We can't hear you, Abel. Please, can you be more audible?
Good morning, P&B Sports, and from the studio there. You said the young 90 minutes. At the point I could not see that game. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me? Okay, at the point, I had to leave that game. I left that game, and I could not watch it anymore because, honestly, to be honest, yesterday match was something that I really, in fact, my heart was pumping so hard. If you check my BP, I think it will go very high that yesterday. And that one thing is the Super Eagles. If I'm watching the Super Eagles, it is something that I prefer even. Let me just get the result instead of me watching it. Let me hear the result somewhere instead of me watching it. But let me go back to your question. Yesterday was, in fact, the players gave everything. That was the first time you could see the Nigerian fans, Nigerians as a whole. We applaud a team that even lost, did not come out with a positive result. But they also applaud it. Why? Because these players gave everything on that pitch. Everything that was doing. They dropped everything there. It's quite unfortunate that the game did not go now. Yes, I think probably luck was against us. But again, you still will not shy away from the officiating. I don't like talking about that, but still, it's a main factor for this game. How come a Moroccan side will play a whole 19 minutes if you count the total of how they committed over 22 and no more red card? Of course, that's an accumulation if you ask me, because that other thing needs to be questioned, need to question heavily. But it's quite unfortunate. It has happened. We went to penalties, and again, the same syndrome, what happened to DR Congo, again, when we lost the playoff, again, we still lost the penalty again against the Moroccan side. But I think it was a very good match. Very, very, very strong match. This is the finals before the finals, in my own opinion.
Okay. Well, some would say that Nigeria had some tactical edge against a team like Morocco, a team that were at home, and it seemed like we played against 70,011 players. Some would say including the ref. Wisdom, welcome. What is your take on what transpired against this in the match against with Super Eagles and the Moroccan Lions?
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Mr. Abel.
Good morning.
Pleasure to be here. Yes. So quickly, I think yesterday's game was a bit disappointing. I mean, I was one of the first set of persons to say our spot in the finals have been booked. And I tell you with my futures. Yeah. It's not as if I'm regretting, but I mean, I would have hoped for a better outcome. But it is what it is. The scripts of football, the person who writes it, I'm still waiting to meet that person because at times the script can be filled with a lot of twists. But yesterday, I think the game was underwhelming. It was a very tight one. Both teams approached it, but it was underwhelming in terms of the match. Both teams cancelled each other out in terms of stifling out the possession. I mean, for all of Morocco's dominance yesterday, all the shots they played, only 4 of the shots were on target. And it was disappointing to see the team that has scored the most goals in the tournament who does not even able to manage shots. Not even to manage a shot on target. The two that we had in the entirety of 120 minutes. So yeah, it was disappointing. But then you said something about the ref. I mean, I'm not going to go into the referee's conversation. But then in terms of the tactical approach, I don't really think Michel got it spot on. Now I'm not trying to blame him. I'm not going to do that. That is one thing I've made up my mind to do. I'm not going to blame anybody for the Super Eagles loss. I would just Morocco showed eagerness than us. That is what I'm going to say. Because everybody has seen how the Super Eagles performed from match they won in the group stage, even down to the quarterfinals against Algeria. I think that semi-final yesterday, Morocco decided to play like Nigeria, and from the get-go, you can see they were all over us. You saw them control that midfield in the first half, even in the second half. Although the Super Eagles got better, but then that chance creation became a big problem. So yes, everything that could go wrong literally went wrong yesterday. But at the end of the day, we still got down to penalties before the time to be decided. So it was a good run overall. But I think the Super Eagles did their best. But Morocco just showed that as the host nation, they had the fans behind them. The intention was there from the start. They came out and grabbed the game by the scruff of the snake. You can see them putting pressure on that us. And the formation they played with a 4-1-4-1. You can see 5 players choking the Super Eagles from the get-go. A lot of people are saying, oh, Eric Chell, the substitutions, this and that. I mean, yeah, like I said, we did not get some decisions correct yesterday, but still, I'm not going to sit here and begin to look at Eric Chell.
Okay, you've said a lot about this match, but one thing that you mentioned is Eric Chell. Even though you said you don't want to talk or say a lot about him, Abel, do you have an alternative view on Eric Chell's tactical performance yesterday and how the Super Eagles were tactically?
For me, I think Eric Chell was superb. My own opinion, I think is okay. That game yesterday was highly tense. If you see how the Moroccans had to come out on the Super Eagles, you will know that actually they meant business. To be honest, the game is tactically. To be honest, I think Eric Chell was set up. Was spot on. Sorry, my own opinion, though. Yes, my own opinion. I think he was spot on, and that game would have gone our way. Do you know why I said so?
Go ahead.
In the penalties. Because Wapele has done us a favor by saving one of the penalty spot kick. Do you get? He just let us score your penalties, that's all. But we know that penalties is to go anywhere, you understand. But just score. And the same thing happened during the DR Congo game, during the playoffs. Wapele saved 2 penalties for Christ's sake. What do you expect a keeper to do again? You have saved 2. Just score your penalty and you are throwing those balls away. Chukwueze came and he just sluggishly treated well. I wouldn't blame him. Maybe the tension was so high. And if I'm there, maybe I will even do worse. Do you understand? But again, we would have put more. I think going forward, we should maybe lay more emphasis on our team should be looking at how to play penalties. Maybe our training, we should play more penalties, try to see how we get better. Because to be honest, I think the penalty was really, really not good, to be honest. Because that's how we lost it. We played everything like, yeah, the more can the game take game plan. We actually came with the game plan. We holding those guys. They would not even do anything. Nothing. Constantly, Wisdom said you don't want to talk about the officiating, but it's also a major factor in this game. Because the referee was just, in fact, I don't even know what to say. It's quite unfortunate that in this level, we could have a referee that will be like that. We have a referee like that will officiate a semi-final game. Honestly, that guy, he just spoiled his career, to be honest. This is Africa.
Abel. Abel, we know that your blood is hot. We know that you are raging with anger.
So I'm not able to tell. Do you know why I'm so angry? Because I don't support anything club side. It's only Super that is my main team. Now I can understand if Manchester United fans are very angry and stuff like that. I'm so sorry.
Please, let's leave Manchester United fans and let's talk about what we have on ground. Abel, please, let's talk about what we have on ground.
No problem.
Let's talk about what we have on ground. Let's come back to you, Wisdom. But before we come back to you, Wisdom, please, can you turn your camera again to how it was earlier on? Back to you. What is your take? We could see a player like Hakimi, who for a long period of time we were able to contain. We could also see Brian Diaz, who we could contain to some extent. We could see that we wore these players out. We showed them why we are Super Eagles. But at the end of it all, we were not able to translate our defense into our attack. First of all, how will you rate the Super Eagles defense, especially with a player like Calvin Bassey and the likes? How would you rate the Super Eagles defense, and how do you think they were able to neutralize players like Brian Diaz and Akraf Hakimi?
Well, I think first of all, our defense have been top notch from the get-go. I think when the team of the tournament is released, be sure to seek out Embassy, and I'm sure Brian decided someone has to be there. It has to be the team of it. The defense has been all through, especially Calvin Bassey. His physicality. I mean, in fact, it's as if we became more physical in this tournament than in the Premier League. I mean, a lot of people were shocked to see Calvin Bassey put up this Superman performance. Because when it comes to man for man, you can see him shoving everybody aside in terms of his speed, in terms of his ability to transfer. He was just all over the place. I think he goes for right beside Samuel, even Bruno Nimechi, of Semi Ajayi as well, top notch. And Stanley Wabali, I mean, this AFCON, he also really stepped up. So yeah, defensively, I think Nigeria showed how resilient, we are, and I think that is very impressive. Prior to now, I mean, the defense and our goalkeeping department has panicking about, but during this AFCON, no one even thought about that. It showed you how much effort they really put in, and then you look just like you mentioned. You said looking at the likes of Hakimi, Brian Diaz, who has had a very fantastic tournament. He was silenced in the game. He could do nothing. He could not create any chance at all. And then you look at Hakimi as well, who has been threatening. The person that had, that was still able to find his way once or twice was not still Masraoui. He was the one that was still able to a little bit of trouble for us that game, but still, I think the defense was absolutely superb. And not just the defense, but also the midfield, because the presence of Ndidi as well, supporting the defenders as well, also played a crucial role. I think that is one of the things that affected us in that game yesterday, the absence of Ndidi. I felt like if Ndidi was there, things would have been different. Maybe not just in terms of our defensive approach, but also in terms of the midfield solidity and even going forward and the chances creation. It won't be hard to play deep yesterday. You notice most times that when the Super Eagles, are out of possession and the players drop back, once they go forward in counter attack, you see Iwobi is the one that brings the ball from deep. Most times when we are in the back three, you see Iwobi, the center of that back three, Calvin Bassey spreading and to the left, and then the Semi Ajayi to his right. So, but if Ndidi was in that game, Ndidi would have been the one to put that position. The movie would be in front of him, receiving the ball and having a lot of room to make those passes we've seen made throughout this entire tournament, and maybe would have had more joy in the Morocco half. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, when the team of the tournament has to be that team.
Talking about a player like Iwobi, just like in 1 minute, what do you think? We could see Iwobi, I think some people called him a free runner, but I decided to call him a freelancer because we could see him taking up different positions in the midfield, and that's majorly to some people was because of the lack of the likes of Ndidi. What do you think about his performance?
Iwobi has different player. He's always been an outstanding player. It's just that the thing with Super Eagles, there's something I've been saying at the start of the tournament. And what is that? The fact that the players decided to put in all their efforts together. The Super Eagles, we've always been thriving on individual brilliance. So one person steps up and wins it for us, and that's how we win. But this has to be the first time where the entire team is coming together, putting their strengths together. And that's why we are seeing Iwobi on a whole different level now. Because most times when you watch him at Fulham, you see Iwobi is a very, very amazing player. And then when he puts on the Super Eagles jersey, that's a different player. And a lot of Nigerians are saying, oh, this guy is not good enough, or oh, he doesn't have the same passion as when he plays for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
The principal thing. Sorry, the principal thing. Sorry to cut you short there, but we know that you can talk about Iwobi from now till next year, 2027. But we're going to be going on a short break now. And when we come back, we are going to be going into the deeper analysis of what happened in both semi-final matches. The win for Morocco against Nigeria, and also the win for Senegal versus Egypt. Don't go anywhere, because P&B Sports Show will. Welcome back to P&B Sports Show. We are still on the Nigerian-Morocco matter. What made everybody have sleepless nights? I don't know about you, but I myself, I had a sleepless night yesterday. I couldn't sleep until, well, I haven't slept. Mr. Eber, what is your take on the Super Eagles back three and how they nullified the Moroccan defense? We are talking about the likes of Calvin Bassey, Osai, and what's the last person's name? Well, you know them all. But what is your opinion on the Super Eagles back three and their defense? Players like Bruno.
Bruno was fantastic. Osai was also fantastic. We have the same Ajayi, right? What is his name again? Calvin Bassey again, like Wisdom rightly said. He was somebody that was ruthless. You could see him even when he could, maybe he lost track of the man, but the way he recovered is something that I've never seen so far. In fact, this tournament brings a whole lot of potential in that guy. Honestly, to be honest. Okay, come to think about it, the yellow card that he got, that he's not able to go, that was not even supposed to be a yellow card, but even him that even for him to even be on yellow card, do you understand? When a player got that yellow card, you know that player will be trying to be cautious, don't like to play too much, but he still gave everything, no matter what. You could see the ball that he stops. So many balls that you have to decisive tackle. Honestly, Bassey was, for me, I think Bassey should be, I didn't want that but Bassey should be man of the match because he was fantastic. Then go down to Osai. Right Osai, that was also very, very good in that wing. Fantastic. Tried to stop anybody that's coming in from that angle. He was phenomenal, honestly. And also Bruno too. You do not take anything away from him too. Both of them came, they brought their A game. But like I rightly said, and I was saying it, and I'll still say it again, it's just that day was not, yesterday was not our day.
Okay, fantastic.
Yesterday was not our day. Yeah, that's how I would always say it. So that's what I have to say about it.
Fantastic. And we are moving back to you. Wisdom, the principal thing, the principality of sports. You know, when we talk about principalities and powers, we talk about you in the sporting industry and in sports and as a sports analyst as well. Well, let's come over to Egypt, Senegal. A lot of people expected Senegal to take that win. And a lot of people also said, well, we might see an upset on the Egyptian side. We saw a very physical Senegalese side. We saw a player like Sadio Mane who said, you know what? I have played on the same team as I've played on Liverpool as well, and I've done my best as well. Then we could also see a Mohamed Salah that said, well, I need to retain my honor as well. What is your take on Sadio Mane's performance on the wing against Egypt?
Well, I think Mane was good. He was brilliant in the game. I watched that match involving Senegal, Egypt, and I have to say, it was a very, very tense game. Well, Senegal didn't take most of the match, to be fair. And I remember I was on a show on Monday, Lagos here. And I remember saying that if we were to get to the final, I don't want Nigeria to meet Senegal in the final for it. Watching that game against Egypt, it was right, because you could see Senegal all over Egypt like rush. The level of intensity. Senegal is probably the next team that is as physical as, I mean, we are both West African nations, and we West Africans, our physicality is on a whole different level. So you see Senegal from the get-go with that match against Egypt, they were all over them in crash. Mohamed Salah could do nothing, Mahmoud could do nothing, Egyptians could do nothing. Senegal was all over the place in terms of the attack, in terms of the chances creation. It was a case of, as soon as Senegal gets for the one Egyptian net, we need to go there.
Okay.
And that was how we took the entire match. Egypt were lost, they were confused. The intensity the Senegalese came with was so. And I have to say, the match really lived up to expectation. It was just one goal that started at the end of the game. It was a well-taken goal. The initial shot coming from the captain deflected, and Sadio Mane immediately the ball arrived at his foot. A one-time volley.
And it was a goal. Thank you, Wisdom. In 1 minute, Abel, we are going to see a finals that seems like it's going to be extremely physical. It's going to be Senegal versus Morocco. Senegal is going to be playing against 70,011 players on the pitch, 70,000 fans and 11 players on the pitch. What is your opinion on that match? Who do you think is going to take the AFCON title this year? And what are your reasons as to why they are going to win the AFCON?
Well, I think the finals will be between the West Africans and also the North Africans. Do you understand? So of course I'm going to put my money for Senegal. I pray Senegal win this one, not because we lost to Morocco yesterday, but because Senegal is the West African nation, and I want the West African nation to win the AFCON.
Okay.
But I think Senegal got it out. But again, Morocco has an edge. Why? Because they're playing at home. They have all the backings from their home crowd. I know what it means having this 12th man. Do you get?
Fantastic.
So I think Morocco is going to win.
Fantastic. And back to you, Wisdom. Scoreline. Give us a scoreline prediction for Morocco versus Senegal AFCON finals.
Extra time and penalties.
Extra time and penalties.
I don't know who's going to win for extra time and penalties.
Okay, so you've decided not to put your money on it. But thank you, gentlemen, for your insights. Abel Sunday, our in-house analyst, and Wisdom, the principality of sports, all the way from Lagos. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, and right now we are going to be moving to our next segment, and that segment is our Athlete of the Day segment. Our Athlete of the Day, before we wrap up today, is Akor Adams, who is a Nigerian forward known for his physical intelligence, pressing ability, and selfless play. At club level, he has grown into a modern African striker, strong mobile and tactical discipline. At this AFCON, Akor Adams has been more than a squad player. He has been a difference maker. He is our Athlete of the Day because of his outstanding performance against Algeria, intelligent hold-up plays and pressing, tactical discipline within Nigeria's front line, and most importantly, his iconic celebration. Akor Adams' celebration in honor of Patrice Lumumba was the moment that transcended football, a tribute to Africa's history, resistance, and identity. In that moment, he reminded us that football is not just a game, it's a voice. African football continues to evolve tactically, culturally, and symbolically, from Senegal's control to Nigeria's intensity, from structure to spirit. The AFCON semi-finals reminded us why this tournament commands global respect. My thanks to Abel Sunday and Wisdom for their insights tonight. And thank you for staying with us on P&B TV. For more insights and for more analysis on football and in the world of sports, follow us on all our social media platforms on YouTube at Politics and Business TV.English, Facebook at Politics and Business TV English, Instagram P&B TV_English, and on X, formerly known as Twitter, at P&B TV_ENG. And this has been Football Explained. From myself, Aaron Tom, and our entire team here in Abuja, it's